because it feels like obviously you meeting Harry was the big moment. Was that when you were you doing comedy before then, or was that what kind of made you go into?
No, that was definitely what sort of made me go into it. I worked at Hackney Council with a very funny guy called Danny Wiseman. Believe me now, this is what he calls himself. Danny the Raspberry from Agony Wick. Okay, that's what he calls himself. Just saying. It's not my nickname for him. But he's a very funny guy. And, that's where we got Suit You from. Because there was a guy who worked at Hackney Council, Jimmy Ord. He goes, we helped the lady last night. So, and you go, did she want it? And it's this kind of, like horrible interest that middle-aged men had. And I have it now. With young men's lifestyle, sexual lifestyles. And that's what he'd do. Yeah. Did she want it? So, suit you. So I didn't have to do very much, really, with it. And he'd say things like, I was down at Auntie's for the weekend, so, not long now. Left the roller skate on the stairs. So he was a funny bloke, and me and Danny used to do him, and Danny was also sort of instrumental in Ron Manager, wasn't it? Small boys in the park, jumpers for goalposts, marvellous. So it's enduring image. And that's my bit of class that I added at the end. But he was great, Dan, and we're still mate. I'm going to hopefully see him this week as well. And it was I don't know. It was Harry was doing stand up. He'd moved out of this double act with Brian Elsley, Dusty and Dick, and he started going out on his own. And we started giving him lines for Stavros. And, but he was very, it was quite amazing. So Bob always says the best stand-up he's seen, he says shit like this. Paul, no, I mean it. No, really, best, Harry. Fucking best, man. And you go, do you really mean it? Or is that the solicitor in you? Because right at the bottom of Bob, the 7 levels of hell, whatever it is, there's the solicitor. So he's quite useful at times, Has he told you his Michael Jackson thing? That he got Jarvis Cocker? Remember when Jarvis Cocker took the piss out of Michael Jackson? Bob got him off. Yeah. Great, Bob, I love you. Great mates. Where the fuck was I? I don't know. Harry. Yeah, so we'd started doing something. And Bob was quite right in a way, because Harry did this short, sharp set. I think he did 3 10-minute acts, and lots of gags. Harry was great for a gag. And he developed this, and he'd do them in the roughest old pubs. Do you know that one down... Oh, God, the Blackwall Tunnel, the Tunnel Club,
The Tunnel Club, yeah.
Where, you come on and people just go, cunt! Haven't even started. But Harry had a little trick. He'd come on and go, wasn't he good? Oh, wasn't he good? Like that. And for some reason, the morons liked him and gave him the time of day. So it was a great sort of training ground for any audience after that. And and Harry was very generous. He encouraged me to write stuff, and then he encouraged me to perform as well. So,
But I mean, just from that, even from this little bit of conversation, it's so hard to spot characters that are going to be enduring characters, and yet you've created so many of those characters, haven't you?
Well, I'll tell you the one. It is hard. You never know, do you? What's gonna last and what's not gonna. We did this big feature once when the Fast Show was at its height. Some magazine said, "Can we come and see the inception of a character and see it through?" See, record it and film it. And we had this character in mind. They came, they watched the costume and the makeup, and we wrote all these scripts, filmed it all, and then we cut it. Didn't use any of it, But, character development is tricky. I remember with Loads of Money, I knew that was going to be successful. I don't know why, but I just had a feeling that was going to hit. And it sort of established us, because Do you remember Friday and Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, there was only 4 channels, and there was only one mainstream, edgy, young comedy show. That was it, wasn't it? And it was comedy and music. Yeah. And the two sat sort of cheek by jowl very nicely. And that's where Harry started with Stavros, and then loads of money. And so, you know, he stepped it up, and loads of money took off immediately. And Harry promptly ditched it after 6 months of people going, "Oi, loads of money!" back at him. And he said, "I'd walk down the street like that." As people pelted him, and I said, "Well, you know, tough, mate. You know, that's what you wanted." So, but it gave us the opportunity to sort of hang up my trowel, and concentrate on writing comedy and performing. Yeah,
I mean, it's sort of interesting for both you and Bob's a slightly similar story. You know, Bob
goal-hangers, aren't we?
Yeah. but I think, it's interesting.
Johnny come lately. Let Jim and Harry go and do all the hard work in Hull. You know, it's always fucking Hull, isn't it? Or Stoke on a Tuesday night, and then we come along. Glory hunters.
But, you know, you and Bob, you know, not only, you know, now national institutions with the show you do together, but I think, you know, the probably, you know, right up there, there's the funniest guys in the country.
Oh, thank you. Very kind.
But I think when when I do this and when I research it, you look back and go, fucking hell. Like, for a lot of the guests go, fucking hell, look at all this stuff they've done. But I think what's really just impressive about you is just that level of, you know, even up to the stuff you've done recently with the when you did the best of the BBC Two show, you know, that big show about BBC Two and the big show about BBC. Yeah. Those are so great, those shows.
Thank you, Richard.
And there's so much work still going them, and he's still sort of doing characters and still doing sketches, but with a bit more to it. But there was always
weird, isn't it?
There's always
must be a bit weird.
But it's sort of weird that sketches have fallen out of favour, isn't it? Really. I mean, it's interesting with the Fast Show. Like the Fast Show, it was just a little bit before Fist of Fun, right? I think like a year before Fist of Fun.
Yeah.
And when our producer came in one day as we were preparing to do, you know, our preview or whatever, first version of it, and she said the Fast Show last night, they came in, they did their first show, it got nothing. And she was really pleased.
Yeah.
And she thought, we're going to be
funny,
okay.
But we preempted that, don't worry. It was like Whitehouse fails to shine in sketch show cast with non-entities, you know. So we'd already done the groundwork for our own failure.
Yeah.
But
of course, you needed show 2 for that.
Yeah.
Like you
there were a few
in those days, they used to ship in audiences of old ladies. And
we had a few of them for the old gits. You know, that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Look at him now. Look what he's doing. They give you a commentary. I go, I know, I'm fucking doing it. But the Fast Show was a bit of a slow burner the first series. Yeah. We were kind of lucky that a few people picked up on it, like John Peel. And he used to do a column in the radio. I don't think we mentioned his name anymore. But he did pick up on it, and that helped it. And then, we got the second series. I mean, I think all comedies, if you're going to commission one series, you've got to commission 2.
Yeah.
There's no point in doing one. No. Unless you're, nobody can be that sure. Whereas if you give something a chance to develop, John Lloyd obviously said that about Blackadder. He said, Series 1, if they'd been brutal, they could have axed it, because it was generally regarded as a flop. And, luckily, I think they got Ben in, and Richard Curtis worked on a script and reshooting it with John at the helm and turned it around. You've got to, I always think that's... But who am I, Richard?
But then it's going to, but it's always going to... And the Fast Show was absolutely revolutionary, and, and it sort of gave some spark to the sketch show, but also then completely changed. So, like, we were then, by the time we were doing our stuff, we were doing quite long sketches, and you'd done these really short sketches.
That's where you went wrong, son.
And so, like, I think it did sort of completely change the whole environment for sketch shows.
Yeah, I suppose it's, it's very funny, isn't it, with something. If something's successful, you can see a TV commissioner goes, oh, that's good. So can we have something like that?
Yeah.
Whereas, I suppose what was really popular after us was Little Britain, and then along came The Office, which is the polar opposite of Little Britain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But in a TV commissioner's eyes and brain, they would have gone, we must have something like Little Britain instead of something totally different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how you call that, but that's sort of how I've always thought. If they're not the most imaginative people, or they wouldn't be TV commissioners, you know. And I don't mean to discredit him, because who the fuck knows anything about anything? And you sort of base your assumption on what is popular at the moment, whereas actually what usually works is something that's totally the opposite.
It is that. I mean, the funny thing about that, the last comic standing thing, the last laugh, man laughing, last laugh.
Last laughing man.
I look at that and I think, I don't know if I'd have commissioned that, and I'm surprised an executive commissioned it, because you go, well, they're trying not to laugh, it won't be funny, but actually, it's...
Well, it's what we were saying earlier about suppressed laughter, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's actually quite a step to commission that show.
Yeah,
but then
that's true.
It is quite a revolutionary show, I think, as a result. So.
But it has been done all over the world and with great success, so it's not that hard, is it?
But whoever did it the first...
Except by my logic.
Whoever commissioned...
It's really successful, so don't do that.
Whoever commissioned the first one was quite visionary, and everyone else went, oh yeah,
what a poisonous atmosphere it must be in that room. A load of comedians trying to make each other laugh and not laugh at their material.